Hello everyone, my name is Khalid Haj-Ahmed, and in this video I will talk about Sonnet 116 by William Shakespeare. So basically, before I start with the analysis of the poem, I will recite the poem first. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters with alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it's an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It's the start ever wandering bark, whose worth unknown, although his height be taken, love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks, within his bending sickness compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never read, nor no man ever loved. So I will start with the theme first to give you a clue about the text, about the poem. So the sonnet tries in a way to define love by stating what love is and what love is not. For example, in the first quatrain, the 4 lines, the speaker says that love, the line, the marriage of true minds, that love is perfect and unchanging. It's something that doesn't change and stays for a long time, eternal. And in the phrase admit impediments, he tries to portray that love does not change when loved ones change. In other words, that when a couple have a relationship and later on it's broken in a way, love stays love. No matter if someone broke his relationship with one another, doesn't matter. Love stays the same. In the second quadrant, the speaker uses a metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech in which it describes, I think, that it shows the similarity between two things. So, for example, in this poem, love is like he presented love as a star. He says that a guiding star to lost ships that can withstand storms, that can handle storms. So he showed that love is a star, not as a star, because as it represent like more likely simile than metaphor. In the third quatrain, the speaker describes what love is not. It's not temporal. It's something that eternal, that stays forever, that stays for a long time. He says that beauty fades as rosy lips and cheeks come within. His bending sickness compass, like he's saying that though beauty fades away like by time, love does not. He says that love stays the same no matter what time goes on or there. Love stays the same. So I will here is about the form, more information. So Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets, and this sonnet takes like the 116th sonnet of Shakespeare. About the form, now this is truly a Shakespearean sonnet because if we count the lines, there are 14. And another thing that indicate that this is a sonnet that there are like 3 quatrains, 4 lines each, and also a couplet that it makes it different from any type of sonnet, like patriarchal, for example. The couplet, the 2 rhyming lines, makes a sonnet like makes the sonnet like Shakespearean sonnet. So it's basically 3 quatrains, 2 rhyming couplet that makes it 14 lines, a sonnet. Second, this sonnet is mostly written in iambic pentameter, like the honest stressed. In a way, we have some words that are stressed, are strongly pronounced, and some words are weaker, like in a weaker way, not like pronounced in a, it's pronounced in a weaker way. So also, iambic pentameter means that 10 syllables each line. For example, Syllable, it means like a vowel. We count the sound, not the letters. For example, let one vowel sound that is counted as one syllable. One, two, three, four, five. Ma, rij, three, two. I mean two sounds, and off one sound. Through minds. These are 10 syllables. We count the sounds again. And yeah, so yeah, about the iambic pentameter. There is also the imperfect rhyme takes place in the poem. The imperfect rhyme when two sound like two words that looks the same, but at the same time they are pronounced differently. Like for example, proved and loved. They look similar, right? But they are pronounced differently. Like proved, loved. This makes what makes the perfect rhyme. Usually some poets like employs it in their poems to interrogate something. That's why. Another example is in line like 10 and 12, come and doom. Come and doom. They look similar, but they are pronounced differently. Also, love and remove. Yeah. However, on the other side, some words may have had the same like pronunciation during Shakespeare's time. So it might have been pronounced like, for example, love and remove at Shakespeare's time. We are not sure, but we are only assuming that that could have been like done for on purpose. What the literary devices, they are also a part of the form. Shakespeare employs a number of literary devices in Sonnet 116, such as metaphors, personification, alliteration, and caesura. First of all, metaphor, like I mentioned before, is found in line 7 when Shakespeare said, "'Tis the star, 'tis the star, not as the star, it's the star itself, like it has the quality of the star." Like he says that a wandering bar to everyone, it is the star to every wandering bar. Here Shakespeare uses a metaphor to compare love to a star. That's always present and never changes. Now the characteristics of a star, it always shines. It doesn't matter how lives goes there and there, like doesn't matter how time moves, the stars remains the stars and it will remain shining. This it also indicates that love will remain love no matter when a couple relationship is broken, the love will stay the same. So he compared love to a star, more likely like the star itself. In the third quadrant, Shakespeare employs personification. The personification is like a literary device when the poet tries to attribute like some human qualities to something that's non-human, some that is not human, like animals, for example. For example, Shakespeare personifies time and love. He refers to them as forces with the ability to change people's life on purpose. Like by time, people's life can be changed in some way or another. Another thing, literary device is alliteration. Alliteration when the first initial sound, consonant sound is repeated more than more than once. So for example, in the poem Marriage and Minds, you can see the repetition of the consonant sounds am and am. Also in the first line, remover and remove, or consonant consonant here in the fourth line. Also, finally, caesura is used to create a pause, like a break. You know, the slash. It's also function as, grammatically speaking, like as a comma or a period between two lines. So caesura is usually to make a break between us, like a stop, and it's usually like expressed like with a comma or between two lines, a period, or a slash, backslash, like two slashes, if you know that, like this. So the poem's second line is a good example. Admit impediments. It says, "Love is not love." You can say, "Hey, here." You can see here the pause, the break here. Admit impediments. There's a stop. Love is not love. You pause your breath, then continues. It ends with a phrase, then begins with another phrase. That's zero, briefly. So this is my presentation about Sonnet 116 by William Shakespeare. Best of luck, guys.